Hi. Um, I'm dressed for bed. They don't allow me to lay in my bed and sleep. They do something environmentally I call electricity or radio waves or microwaves, all three. But they hurt me so bad that I can't lay down on either couch or on the bed. I record 20 on my mouthpiece. I'm recording 24/7. So there's audio of me screaming and begging and begging and begging and begging. They say I'm an abuser, but I haven't abused anybody. But they're abusing me and saying it's right. I've never done anything to any of these people but be nice. Okay, I can get short with my tongue because I want to stop the abuse and think. Right now they got the electricity so bad. My feet and leg and arm on the left side is just screaming in pain. They have the floor so hot that it's heating not only my feet, my legs, but also the seat I sit on, so my guts and organs are being hurt. My blood test for my body came back that my kidneys are now in bad shape, and I've been telling them for over months now that they're hurting my kidneys because they hurt them. Now when I'm away from here, I'm still hurting from the pain, but I'm not hurting being inflicted with it. That's the difference. I'm talking to you now because if I'm going to have to stay up, I might as well do something worthwhile. So I'm going to do short recordings. I was going to write this because I knew I'd get out of here. Yeah, that was stupid of me. I honestly thought they would be decent like I am and stop abusing, and I now know that will never happen. And by the way, you treat other people, how you unconsciously believe you should be treated. And evidently, these people do not think much of themselves. I have told them over and over, hundreds of times, to take the I Am Enough through Marissa Peer class so they could feel good enough. You know, we all just want to be decent, good people, and evidently these people have a good excuse, always a good excuse. I even told them how they could get all of them all together here in this apartment complex and just pay for one class and get like 20 or 30 people so they could all get better. Am I going to tell you? Well, I'll think about it, but not right now. I love Marissa Peer, and I think she does a wonderful job, but I was trying to help these people. Yes, I am a licensed professional RTT hypnotherapist, and I'm excellent. These people don't trust me. To be honest, I don't trust them because they're abusers. Or they justify someone abusing me. Either way, it means they are not stopping it or trying to stop it, so they are partially or fully responsible for hurting me. And I do realize the mass majority of the population are just like them. I was like them. I didn't feel good up. The only difference is I never hurt people to feel better about myself. And I started working on myself like at 12, 13. I saw the cup far less than half full at that age. And I realized I had to start saying it was full and changing how I looked at things. And I work at it every day. And being abused and tortured makes it a lot harder. But I'm not going to abuse people and hurt them. Just because I'm hurting inside. And I know I'm probably, or people like me are in the minority. But that's just the way it is. When all this part of this shit started, some 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, I was on J Street in an upstairs apartment. But it actually started when my kids were in junior high and high school. And they were finally legally allowed to see their dad without supervision. I only once was, I think, or twice. I was in the area. I wasn't the one who supervised the visits anyways. My son Michael told me what he was doing. He told me he was recording conversations he made of us talking and slicing and changing it, me saying things I never said. You know what I said? I said, no, you wouldn't do that, because I knew how he'd been raised. I was a fool. My daughter Jessica, she did more innuendos telling me what she was doing. I was a fool and knew she wouldn't do it. It wasn't till about 5, maybe 6 years ago, maybe 3, 6, I think. Anyway, within the last 4 or 5 years, or 6 years, that I finally, that whole year I worked on accepting people as they are instead of how I see them, because I would play to the good I could see in them. Now that was stupid of me. But it was also me projecting me. Most people relate to people as as you are. So since I was decent and good, I figured they would be. Yeah, well, no. And people would be like that. No. Oh, in the Bible. Oh, yes, I love that. You get what you give. No. And actually, the story of Job tells you that. In the end, yes, but I don't want to have 5 more kids. I've already endured 10 years of torture and abuse, electrical assault wherever I go. That we'll cover that in a little bit. And I'm telling you this because if it's happening to me, abusers like to share, so more people, so their friends, fellow abusers, can abuse others. So it's happening. And I'm going to weave all of this together. It's not going to go from point A to point B. It's all going to get woven, like in a book, going here and there. The book was going to be called Abuse by Proxy or Murder by Proxy. I was going to do 3 of them: abuse by proxy, torture by proxy, and murder by proxy. And slowly, today, I realized this is 2/2/2026. I don't know if I'm going to live to write those books, so I'm going to record this on my YouTube and in sections that I can, so that people will know what's going on, and all of the mental health people and doctors and police will realize there are people out there abusing, and no, abusers do not make sense. Abuse never has made sense, because wrong is always wrong, but of course nowadays we have situation ethics. But they don't want it done to them. And it's always the other person's fault. So it's my fault I'm here, being abused by them. Would be the abusers saying, but it's not. It's not my fault. Except some 30, 40 years ago, I did allow a Curtis Lee Chastain from Florence, Oregon, into my life. And I had 3 kids at the time: Josie Quick, Eunice Quick, and Daniel Quick. Daniel was a little bitty boy, 18 months, 2 years. He had to be on a heart monitor for 18 months of his life, because he would stop breathing and I'd have to revive him. No, it usually doesn't go past 3 months. 9 months was wacko. But that's the way it went. He was a wonderful little boy. Not perfect, but wonderful. So is Josie and Eunice. Their lives would have turned out better if I hadn't let him in her life. But I wasn't healed then. Not as far as I am now. And I think healing's a process instead of endpoint. God, am I hurting so bad? Anyways, it's a process. I got healed some, and then more, and then more. I asked Jessica, who put this stuff on the web, and her brother helped with some of it. Daniel, Jessica Chastain, and Michael Chastain I had with Curtis Chastain. They wouldn't even be alive except I prayed for them. Eunice and Daniel, I had to fight to keep them alive. I doubt that they even know or remember any of that. Meanwhile, I was mentally ill, trying to get healthy. No, I've never been schizophrenic. I have thought I might be, but I have never been. That's part of PTSD, is you're not consistent all the time. And I had a severe case of PTSD. And gee, I wonder why. And I still do. It's gotten worse in some areas because of the abuse. I'm going to let you go and then charge the phone and then start again.